Today we'll talk about the monitoring of the employee's working when he is in the office. What best practice should be taken so that the invasion to his privacy is taken care of. Welcome to my YouTube channel where you daily see new content on data privacy. And as I said, let's talk about the workplace privacy today. How to make sure that your employees working in office find themselves safe. Common monitoring things that organizations generally do in the office: email and internet monitoring, and it is important. Why is it important? Phishing, malware threats. There are a lot of tools that can control the spread. If the emails are monitored at a central level, so impacted or infected emails do not get into the mailbox of the user or on the desktop or phone of the user. The important risk around there is over monitoring of private messages. If your employees are using the official email IDs and still receiving private messages, then they need to be careful about it. CCTV surveillance, many organizations have that. Almost become a mandate in large organizations to have a CCTV around the corridors and common areas and all. So there is a lot of continuous surveillance. Important factor here is that your employees should be well aware of it. You should publish them on your privacy notices, and you should take a consent when you are deploying these surveillance tools in the organization. Monitoring of laptops and mobiles, that can again impact if there is any personal data or personal activity being done, which you cannot ignore 100% because it cannot be 100% that person sitting in office is working only on official things. Sometimes in the breaks and all that stuff, some bit of personal things do get happen. You have proper security tools are there, so that should be good enough to ensure that nothing goes wrong with the system and the network both. But monitoring them too much could be risky. Biometrics give you access to his biometrics. It could be facial recognition, it could be the fingerprints or the thumb impressions. Need to be very careful, especially protecting the database where you are storing the biometrics. That should not get hacked and spread across and people getting into problems with that. And GPS tracking. GPS tracking, if it's a workforce sitting in the office, then there is no need of GPS tracking, logically speaking. Because then once there is a GPS in his device, whether it's the laptop or the phone, then the GPS can track him out of working hours also. When is monitoring acceptable for employees? When you have a clearly defined purpose. The purpose could only be compliance, right? For example, a BPO says that I need to monitor all your behavior because there could be a security threat, or my customer says that he needs to be sure of what you guys are doing in the office. Fine, that purpose is well defined in the privacy notice and a consent has been taken. There is a transparency, employees are completely informed in advance. So then you can do any kind of monitoring if it is acceptable to the employee and he is given his consent. Minimal monitoring, monitor only what is necessary, no excessive monitoring, and keep the monitored data or collected data very, very secure. It should not be in general common access of various people in the organization. From legal point of view, there is notice and consent. GDPR says you need to inform your employees. DPDP Act says there has to be transparency and fairness in the system. Lawful basis, contract, legitimate interest, compliance. What does it mean? There has to be a lawful basis of why you are monitoring your employee activity. It could be a legitimate interest, surveillance required in threat of a customer need, in threat of compliance, around the office surveillance required for any social threat kind of a thing, or a legitimate contract with the employee that says yes, I need to monitor under lawful basis. Privacy should be maintained by default. All the compliances regulators say that collect minimum possible data, only that is required, and adhere to the employee's rights to access the data, erase the data, get the data corrected. So you should adhere to the rights of the employees. The best practices for workplace monitoring: clear the internal policies, very, very clear definition of each and every part of monitoring. Provide a notice if you are starting a new monitoring Notice could be through updated privacy notice. So you update the privacy notice and provide a link that these are the changes we have done. Perform as less monitoring as required. This is not performance monitoring. This is you are doing more of a behavioral monitoring. Protect the monitored data, especially when it comes to the biometrics, the CCTV recordings. You should protect them more carefully. A, they are required for records later if you are really captured. B, biometric lost could be very big danger to the employee. Allow access rights, allow erasure rights, allow correction rights, and avoid monitoring personal devices of your employees to keep them in confidence that you are more worried about the workplace monitoring and not personal monitoring of the employee when he is working. Track them only during the work hours. Tracking after work hours should not be important to you. Even if he has taken half day, then he has taken half day and he has left the office. Once he has left the office, work hours are over. Right? So be very, very careful while you are monitoring the employees so that your purpose of meeting compliance is taken care of and their confidence in you is well maintained. As a real life example, a positive one, email scanning, but the employee knows that the purpose is clear, it is more for malware and not monitoring his content. Yes, VLPs can be put in for the content as well, but then from security point of view. Negative, you are recording all employee calls. This is in any case unethical until you are a call center and you have a need to report the calls, and in that case you need to provide privacy notices and take consent of the individual employee. Be ethical, transparent and proportionate with your employees when you are monitoring their performance. Monitor only what is necessary, inform what are you monitoring, and protect what you have collected under the monitoring system. So that's about workplace privacy matters. I hope you like the content of the video. Please press the bell and the like icon. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share your feedback in the comment section.